What's happening, everybody? TK here, TK and Drinks. And you know what time it is. If you're here on a Wednesday evening, that means that it's time for a live interview. And this week, I got all sorts of words that aren't supposed to be put together hanging out of my mouth. But this week, we're going to be talking to Rico from Fox's Den Meadery. They're out of, I believe, Illinois. I can't remember that town. Yorkville, Illinois. So these guys are up and coming in that Sugar Belt Mead circuit area over there, and that whole Indiana, Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, that whole little Wisconsin, Minnesota. They call that the Sugar Belt. If you don't know, you're about to find out tonight because we are going to be talking about that a little bit as well. So thank you all for being here, whether you're here live or whether you check this on the download, the YouTube, wherever else. Always appreciate you guys being here. So every week I do like to start off my interviews or my videos and whatnot with a little bit of what are you drinking tonight? And tonight I've got an empty glass because I was going to open up one of these meads or a couple of these meads that I've got here of Rico's from Fox's Den, and let him pick what was going to be opened up first and everything. But let's at least talk about what we have on deck first, and then we'll go from there. So the two that I currently have from Fox's Den, one is going to be a Cassius Vanilli. So first of all, talk about these guys. I love their artwork. Oh, what's going on, brother? Always love the Fox's Den artwork there. Super clean bottles and stuff. I was giving my wife a little peep at this earlier. Check this out. Got the little gap here. You got the big gap here. A little bit of labeling problems. I say problems, but growing pains. You know what? I have nothing to talk because I got to label a few bottles while I was at Funktastic Meads, and that shit is not easy. So we can just say that I labeled this bottle because that's about the quality of ones that I was putting out of there, to be real. But I'm super excited to try this one. This was a members-only bottle, so they got a membership society over there called the Skulkin Society, and those cats, I think there's only like 115 of them from what I was reading online. So that's a very lucky few cats out there. But this one is a black currant mead with natural flavors. So I think there was a black currant vanilla, but I'm not quite sure. I'd love to talk to him about that and see what Rico has to say. And then we got another one from him. It's a pine berry. So pine berry, if never seen one or heard of one, you can kind of tell in this. It's a strawberry that has it looks like a strawberry. It's like a strawberry with white flesh. I think it's technically a different berry altogether. I don't think it's like some sort of strawberry hybrid something or other. But yeah, definitely interested in trying this one. I was almost going to grab some pine berries at the store and try to have some, but I didn't see any here when I got into Arizona. It's been a couple states since I've seen pine berries on the menu at the store. So I'm definitely excited to try either one of those. So I'm going to let Rico pick what we're going to be drinking tonight. So I appreciate you guys all showing up tonight and hanging out and everything like that. Hoping Rico shows up here pretty quick. It is already after 5 o'clock. It's 5:03. So let's hope we don't have TK's famed technical difficulties on deck. So see what it's got going on in TK and Drinks World. I got two meads I'm getting ready to be bottling. One, I have a Guajillo Honey Traditional. Yeah, Guajillo Honey Traditional that I'll be doing. That got some oak that I put in there. And I'm really excited for this one. It's got a very unique characteristic to it. I didn't like it when I first racked it off of the yeast and whatnot. It was tasting this really I don't know, like astringent. It just had all these like bad characteristics to it. I wasn't enjoying. It was a little bit hot, obviously because it just finished fermenting. Like I said, it was like a bit astringent. Just had this funky type of almost like not arsenic, what they call it, acidic, whatever it is. It was definitely not pleasant. But I got that. Hit that with the clarifying agents, got that ready to go through some oak cubes in there. And I think after it's been sitting now for, I don't know, about 6 or 7 days. What day did I put that in there? I think on Monday. So that'll be ready to bottle up here next week. And then I've got 3 gallons of a lemon vanilla with monkey pod blossom honey that I did. And I threw lemon zest and 2 lemons and zest of a, yeah, there you go. Exactly. Kind of kind of vinegar, like it was like kind of puckering just a tiny little bit. It was definitely not pleasant. So I'm really hoping that that was something that was just at the end of fermentation and isn't actually going to be present here after it's been aging for a couple days, and got maybe that oak will cover it up if it's some huge flaw in it. I don't know. It just doesn't taste good to me now, nearly as when I got it off um, as it did when I tasted it the other day. So I guess, like I said, it's been about 7 or 8 days. So I'm excited to get that one bottled up. But this other one, yeah. So I got lemon, vanilla. I zested 2 lemons and a tangerine in there because I couldn't find a Meyer lemon for the life of me. I've been looking across frickin' 7 different states. I was looking since South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, all the way across Tennessee, Texas, Arkansas. I mean, there was nowhere that had any Meyer lemons. And it's supposed to be even the time of year for them, which is, I don't know, I guess a bit odd. I don't know. Anyway, couldn't find any, so he's used, apparently a Meyer lemon is a hybrid between a tangerine and a lemon. So we zested a tangerine, zested, 2 lemons, threw that in a mesh bag and got that sitting in there. It's sitting on like 8 ounces. No, not 8 ounces. No. Yeah, it might be 8 ounces. Was it a half pound of vanilla beans in it in a 3-gallon thing? So it's got a gang of vanilla in it. It's got some lemon zest and some tangerine zest. This thing is going to be really freaking odd. I don't know quite what to think about it. It has this like incredibly strong vanilla punch to it, but I don't know. I think it might be a bit too much. I stuck a bunch of oak. I stuck 5 ounces of oak in it for about 6 days, and it came on hot and heavy. I didn't even need to leave it in there probably that long because it's got a fairly strong oak presence to it. But once I put the vanilla in there, and now that the zest from the tangerine and the lemons has been in there, it's definitely mellowing out that oak, or at least balancing it out. And the last thing I'm going to do before I bottle and clarify this one is hit it with a pinch of citric acid, just because it is already have that little bit of citrus from, or that it's going to have that little bit of natural presence of citric acid from the zest that's in there. And I want to just punch that up a little bit, and hopefully that will balance against the vanilla. It has that kind of like warm spice because the vanilla has been in there for like, man, I don't want to. It's today's the 17th of April. I think I put the vanilla in it when I was still in Virginia. So I'm talking, it's been in there for close to a month. And I keep checking it, and it hasn't given it this like extract taste yet. I was expecting it to come off like super spice hot. But it's not. I think maybe it's actually imparted maximum flavor, and it's just kind of now just sitting there being dead weight in there. But when I get ready to clarify and rack this one over, after this, and I'm monitoring this lemon zest. That's one thing that everybody I talk to constantly mentions with the lemons is hit the check them daily. I don't know what I was trying to say there. Check the zest daily. Check your taste. Pull the bag out, whatever, because it's really easy to overdo citrus. And it's like oak with one of those things. It's like once it's in there, you can't pull it out. You can't undo the damage that's already done. You can save it, split it, do shit like that with it. But as trying to do what it is, it's pretty much already set in its ways. So give it. The zest has been in there for about 48 hours. I think I'm going to give it maybe about 96 hours. And if that doesn't impart like a nice, strong, lemony flavor, maybe I'll give it a little bit longer. But I'm going to hit it with some citric acid here pretty quick too. And then, like I said, clarify it and then bottle this one up. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to send it to which competitions I am not going to send it to, just because I'm trying to send things to different competitions than I've sent them to before. But I don't know. Maybe I'll do some repeat entries. I've kind of haven't really decided yet. I've got a lot on my brain as far as it goes to putting those meads into entries. But I am going to, as soon as I get these racked over, I got some honey left over, and I got to get something else in the works here. So I'm thinking about trying a sizer. One of the things, step back here. Initially, when I started making stuff, I had talked about only doing traditionals, but I've got kind of bored of that. No, maybe not bored of it, but I got impatient. Let's go with impatient. I got impatient of not being able to do stuff with other things. So I think I'm going to try to do it like always have at least one traditional going and something else going at the same time. So that way I can at least be learning and still maintaining, learning the basics, as it were, so to speak, on the traditional side, and then still learning all what it takes to use fruit and adjuncts and the best practices and procedures as far as, that type of stuff goes as well. So I am really wondering where the heck Rico is at. I haven't seen him pop in. It is a good 10 minutes now past the hour, and I was just talking to him like a half hour, 45 minutes ago, and he was ready to go and everything. So I gave him all the instructions, and I don't have any way of reaching out to him to see if he's available, because if I do that, it will kick me out of the live per usual. So if anybody in here has him or knows him, wants to go pop over there, shoot Fox's Den a message, tell him that we're waiting in the live stream, that would be much appreciated. But if not, no worries. We'll have to just play it by ear, so to speak. And in that instance, since it has been 10 minutes and I am ready to start drinking something, at least have a little taste of something, not get too buck wild for the evening, I'm gonna go with, what do we got here? Let's let the stream pick. We got the black currant vanilla, or we got the pine berry. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. I'll even go with one vote at this point. Somebody name something, and we will make it happen. I'm leaning towards the black currant one, because black currants are always really good, and I've heard that his black currant ones are. He's made this one. I think there was one other one that he did. Do the black currant one. Let's do that one. Is the first mead you mentioned bone dry? Could use some back sweetening. No, if you're talking about the ones that I made, no, they're both have been back sweetened. I think that traditional is like at 1040, and the other lemon vanilla ones are like 1050, something like that. But I'm trying to really balance them out well with a nice tannic presence and a nice acidic presence as well. Just that's my preferred style that I like to drink. So that's the one that I'm going to try to emulate, at least at first, and then branch out from there. All right. Oh, what's up, Gentle Bee Meadery? Appreciate you popping in. We got 2 votes for the Cassius Vanilli and 1 vote for the Pine Berry. I'm with you, Doc of the Bay. I want to do this one as well, but maybe we'll get to that one in a minute. The masses have spoken, so let's get to this vanilla one here. So, crack this. One thing I did was going to compliment Rico on, if I get to talk to him, is the quality of the wax jobs. I mean, look at that is nice, even, nice thickness on the tops, not all bubbly, no drips or anything. I mean, when the drips are done intentionally and done well, they look cool, but like this is, I would prefer them like this almost every time, because then you don't have like little thing that could catch and rip off, and this is going to look clean and healthy and nice and sit in your boxes or in your cellar, in your cooler, whatever you're doing with it. So definitely kudos to Rico for that. And whoever's doing his waxing. And even this one for the pine berry, I don't know if you can see it or not. Maybe you can a little bit, but there's actually even little like specks in the wax, so it looks like the pine berry and stuff. So super cool. Love those little attention to details. All right, let's get this off of here. Ooh, pop that, and got it still on the top there. I will power through that. So I've had a few Fox's Dens before. My buddy Reed is the one who turned me on to their stuff. He's a member of their bottle club, and at a share last Labor Day, cracked a couple bottles open, and I was like, all right, man, these guys are legit. I'll definitely fucks with what they're doing. So when he had some bottles available, said, hey man, I got these bottles if you're interested. Definitely stepped in there and said, you know what, man, let me trade you over a little something here, and we'll call it good. So here we are, just sitting off of room temperature. I'd say probably about 65 degrees, a little bit. Ooh, quite vinous on that, like very much like a red wine type of aroma. Been shaking this up and stirring it, because it definitely had a big fat thing of sediment from sitting on its side for a while. Loving that. Seeing legs immediately, getting nice, full, thick body on there. So that tells me we got quite a bit of sugar left in there, which I imagine he probably back sweetened. So now if anybody knows sugar belt area, like I was saying, with Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, I think that's where it stopped. I guess it might go over into like Pennsylvania, but I'm not quite sure. But those guys out there, they enjoy their super duper heavy, full bodied meads. We're talking final gravities, you know, after back sweetening and everything, well above 1100 sometimes. But I think at least starting around 1080 would probably be a good point where most of these cats enjoy their stuff at. I could be wrong, but that's pretty much what I'm thinking. So again, Cassius Vanilli says it's a black currant mead with natural flavors. Cheers, Beard Dad Show. Hey, how these run all together sometimes. I don't have my glasses on, so it all blurs together, but cheers to you too, brother. Yeah, very much on the vinous aroma characteristic there. It smells very much like a red wine. It's very fresh and very tart in its aromatics. Whew. I don't get much very floral in there. I wasn't not expecting to be nearly this floral. Most black currant ones have that like dark, deep berry characteristic to the nose, like cherry or black currant. But this one, I'm not really getting much of that. It's actually kind of mild on there, especially for being as warm as it is. I was really expecting it to have the nose pop. And that's why I let it get to this temperature, because I really wanted to get that strong punch. But it's not giving that off of there. But like I said, a little bit tart, a little bit maybe like not green apple, but like green apple skins or something like that. But it's I guess there is some of that very on the back end, that dark berry note, but it's very light in its aromatics for something that is black currant. Definitely the color is good. There's a lot. I mean, you can see, I don't know if you can see that in there, but there's like, it's got like particles and all sorts of leftover fruit matter, I'm sure is what it is in there, that's sticking to the glass as well. The legs are, again, just ridiculously heavy. Doesn't look like it was ever filtered or anything like that. I'm sure they don't do any filtering. Hell, this may never even been clarified. They just let everything just settle naturally and tapped it off from there, and whatever you get left is what you get. All right, let's down the hatch this one. Now, it definitely has that, whoo, oh yeah, definitely has that natural black currant punch to it. Very tart. Again, not overpowering. You get the honey in there that actually you get really nice sweetness that washes over the palate after that initial punch of black currant and tart astringency. The honey washes over. I'm actually really liking this one a lot. So definitely strong in the acidic value naturally from the black currants. Not getting a whole lot of tannic value after anything. After everything finishes, not very dry back there, but I think it's probably not supposed to be. So it is what it is. I'm really digging this one. I would give this one overall, I'd probably give this one a 39, maybe even a 40. That aromatic on is definitely just not what I'm used to when it comes to black currant mead. So maybe, I don't know. I would love to talk to him and pick his brain about how he layered those flavors in there and what else is exactly going on when he's talking about natural flavors. Is because it's called Cassius Vanilli. Maybe there isn't any vanilla in there. Maybe any vanilla, Cassius Vanille, and maybe there's no vanilla in it. I'm not exactly sure. So, I mean, that basically just looks like a black currant to me. Maybe vanille is like Italian or Latin or something. I'm now definitely looking like a interviewer that didn't do their research and figure out what that is. But I wanted to ask him and hoping he was going to fill in all these blanks and whatnot. So, unfortunately, we'll just have to go with it ourselves. But I'm definitely digging it. Like I said, I'd give it a solid 39 or 40. The taste is definitely the strongest value of it. Good characteristics, good presence. I'm definitely going to finish the bottle. Certainly not a drain pour or anything like that. Definitely times like this, I wish I had somebody to share it with and bounce it off, back and forth and see exactly what's going on. So man, 5:20 and still nothing. This is really bumming me out. I apologize everybody for having that. This is the second or third time this has happened. This time where we got, get the bump there, where we had some sort of mixed communication or crossed wires about exactly what was supposed to be going on. So, what I can do is inform you of a few things I do have coming up in the TK and Drinks life cycle. One thing we're going to be doing, so speaking of all the Sugar Belt stuff, one thing I'm going to be doing, if anybody's interested or if they're going to be going or would like to go but they can't, I'm going to Sugar Belt Mead Festival this year. That's going to be May 20th in Bulldog Park in Crown Point, Indiana, which is near Manic Meadery. Tony Qualls, the owner there, he's the one who initially put this all together 2 years ago. This is the third year. You get about 25 plus meaderies, and maybe I think even a few breweries get together at a park for an afternoon. I think it's from it's like a 2 to 7 type event, 2 to 6, 3 to 7, something like that, for a couple hours, 4 or 5 hours, get together. I'm pretty sure there's no bottle sales that go on. It's just a festival and doing pours and everything like that. But I haven't been. But this year, the last 2 years, I have heard just been absolutely ridiculously awesome. And it's just, everybody's talked it up so much. This year, I'm going to be there. And for the folks that can't be there, I'm going to be doing a live stream, the unofficial official live stream, or the official unofficial live stream. I haven't figured out which one sounds funnier yet. But either way, I'm going to be doing the live stream from there. And I'm getting a new platform set up. So I'm going to be able to live stream if all goes as well as planned. Again, technical difficulties abound, but if everything goes as planned, I'll be able to stream to Instagram Live, Facebook, and YouTube all at the same time from my phone platform. I've got the new mic, which I'm hoping everybody can hear me well. I've got another mic for everybody else, so we're gonna be rocking and rolling, and this thing is gonna be a high value for potentially 4-hour live stream or segment of live streams for this 4 to 5 hour event. We try to get some interviews in there. I'm going to be doing a guest pour session at Lost Causes booth, wherever they have that set up at. So I'm going to be doing a thing over there. I talked to Billy about that already, so I'm super excited about that. Get to flex a little bit of my my Lost Cause Coveters Club membership, although I genuinely think he probably would have let anybody who is a member or a friend or family or pretty much just any live body pour for him. So I don't think I should take it as that big of a big of a compliment. I'm just a nerd and I'm going to do it anyway. So anybody who's interested in anything Sugar Belt related, go ahead and follow me on one or preferably all of those platforms, and we'll be able to get you all the live feeds and live streams and everything related to Sugar Belt on the day of that you could possibly want and overload yourself with. So, like I said, go do those follows and all that type of stuff. It's much appreciated because I like to share my cool mead stuff with everybody else. Yeah, honestly, I don't think this is going to get any better. I'm pretty sure it's pretty much already as warm as it's going to get now at this point. And yeah, it just hasn't really blossomed like I was hoping it would. It's not bad. There's nothing wrong with it. It just isn't as strong and pungent as I was expecting it to be. Maybe I shouldn't. I mean, I don't know if I'm really docking points for it. It's just, you have a black currant mead, and you have an expectation. Oh, I'm expected nice black currant punch and flavor, especially for something this dark and clearly laden with fruit. And it's just not there. Yeah, man, it is going to be a ton of fun. Steve, I'm just dying for this event to show up. I've been jonesing to get there for the past 2 years. And from what I understand, there's potential for there to be, another mead festival type thing that's going to be happening later in the year, possibly related to Sugar Belt. So, I mean, this whole mead only festival thing seems to be kicking off. It's no longer just ponying on to beer festivals or just other type of events in general. We're having our own festivals. We're having our own straight up competitions now. We've got YouTube a homebrew YouTube competition solely for home brewers, ran by the YouTube mead brewing community, which I think is amazing. Uh, we got the one being now put on by the Mead Institute. Those cats over there are putting on I think it's a commercial only competition, and that is going to be all judged by, they've got, I can't remember who else all on the panel, but I was talking, I think 2 weeks ago with the cats over at Clear Skies, and they're talking about they've got some like serious judges over there, some like sommelier level twos, and some serious palettes. So you're going to get some incredibly unique feedback, and probably more, thorough, more just a stronger quality of feedback from these type of people. And that could be a double-edged sword, man. These people could give you, sing your praises and have you sitting on top of the moon, or they could be cut you down and having you feel like you're looking the ants in the eyeballs and everything. So I'm excited to see all the new competitions. I think it's amazing that there's, with as much recessions going on, and as much as so many things are slowing down, that the meat industry is still seemingly churning forward at a fairly good clip. So it gives me warm and fuzzy feelings that this is going to be a strong industry for at least for a couple more years to come. I'd heard some talk about the meat industries. We've already peaked, and if you're not already in the if you're not already in the industry, so to speak, if you're not already up and running with a meadery, you're pretty much going to be SOL. Because the industry is going to collapse in the next 5 years. It's going to be basically the what's the term? The fad will be over and the craze will be over, and it'll be back to back to the super ultra niche thing that it was. And there's going to be no more media and marketing type stuff that are going to be involved with all that stuff. So the comps that I was talking about, so the homebrew only comp is going to be from the Catsa man-made mead and man-made mead doing the most, and I believe it's Faywood mead, and that's called the Mead Stampede. Again, that's home brewers only for that one. I believe they just recently, within the past month, just since the start of this month, I believe have released or opened up the entry. So I think you can sign up. If you want to sponsor them, they're taking sponsors. If you want to enter, I think they are taking entries in dollars. I don't think it's time to send in bottles yet. I'm pretty sure the bottle send in doesn't happen until like June. So you've definitely got a little bit of time. You've got, I'm fairly confident to say you've got at least until June 1st to start sending in your bottles. But definitely start, if you want to be on that one. That one's coming up here really quickly. So start being ready for that one. Mead Stampede, like a cattle stampede, because those guys are in Oklahoma, and apparently that thought was clever. I don't know. And then the one for the Mead Institute, and that's the guys that I think was a bunch of people from the AMMA that either went off and did their own thing, or it's a sub thing of the AMMA. I don't think they're directly related together, but I think there's crossover people that are connected to both of them. But it's like Carvin Wilson and Ken Schramm and Allison Schramm. I can't remember what her full name is, but Allison and Ken and a couple other people, and they've got their thing going over there. And that competition again is commercial only, and I don't know what their time frame is. But if you go to the Mead Institute, their socials. Oh, you didn't realize I was talking about Mead Stampede? Yeah, sorry, my man. I guess I should have specified initially, but yeah. So Mead Stampede, and then again, the commercial only one from the Mead Institute. I don't know if they have a name for the competition. I think it just like the Mead Institute International Mead Competition or something kind of official sounding or something like that. Yeah, the Mead Institute competition. Yeah. So again, like I said, that I'm pretty sure is commercial meaderies only. I don't think it's U.S. I think it is international. But again, I don't know. I didn't look at it. I haven't, as I'm not a commercial mead maker, and I'm not judging it. I wasn't really concerning myself with who could and could not enter it. So sorry, call me an asshole, whatever. But yeah. But regardless, I'm excited to see those types of things happening. Like I said, because it's cool to see the industry powering forward when so many places are not doing that. So Wow. Well, like I said, I'm really sorry that we had a miscommunication of what was going to happen tonight. I'm really bummed that they couldn't make it happen. I could have swore everything was on the up and up. It is 5 o'clock Pacific time, so that does make it 8 p.m. Eastern time. I didn't get that wrong. I'm not like an hour early or anything like that. Pretty sure that time change didn't happen. I mean, it did happen, and that's why that I'm at 5 and 8 and not, yeah. That sounds so stupid. But nonetheless, I really do wish Rico was here because I've heard nothing but great things about him. He's supposed to be just like one of the nicest guys. And again, I wanted to share the story. This is ridiculous that there's this awesome of a commercial mead maker out there who has less followers on Instagram than I do. I think that's awesome for me and ridiculous for them because these guys should definitely be, be up there more. What's going on, Brulahan? Oh, Mama Bear wants to take a sip of the mead. See what she says. She'll give me a valued, honest opinion. She don't punch. She don't cut no punches. Pull no punches. That's what it is. Cut no corners. Pull no punches. There. Oh, she's giving me a funny look. She's going back for a second drink though. She didn't initially just give it the poo poo eye. So I'm dying to try some Brulahan. That's what's happening. And Mama Bear gives it the thumbs up. So Mama Bear gives it the thumbs up. It is definitely, Sugar Belt approved because she's very much into that heavy, full bodied, very high gravity, high final gravity type stuff, which I am as well. There we go. Ah, yes. So, like I said, if anybody knows Rico or is friends with him, feel free to shoot him a message. Tell him we're live and going and would love to have him on. Maybe, like I said, I got some wires crossed or something. Excuse me. It was a long day today. But, so the other thing I want to get in, I've talked about the competitions that are coming up and leading into that or segue from that into one of the other things I'm trying to do and put together. This is going to be potentially my last, Instagram interview, my last interview in this format. I'm trying to switch over to that new format I was talking about for doing, Sugar Belt. So I've got a program that's going to let me link all these things together. I'm getting that set up and everything. And once I got that linked up, I'm going to be starting my new TK and Drinks, formatted show. I'm in the final stages of putting that together. So if y'all would love to, I would love to run this thing by you. So I have some valued people here that are watching and would love to get some feedback from any of y'all. So one of the things I want to do is I'm starting a new mead show, going to be formatted and segmented and keep these interview things going as well. So for the new show, I'm going to be calling it That Mead Show, something nice, simple, that forward. You can just talk about it with your friends. Hey, you seen that mead show? You don't have to try to remember no fancy name or nothing. Nice, easy, rolls off the tongue. So one of the things I want to do is called News of the Mead, News of the Week, something like that. And I really want to focus on getting spotlight on some of the more lesser known aspects of some of these, like, okay, so like Fox's Den, or there's another meadery that I can't remember who it was. I just shared their stuff. Standard Meadery. So Standard Meadery is now doing, they have openings for their club membership going on. I can't remember what they call it. It's like something really fancy. It's like the Privateers Club or the members only club or whatever, the Standard Meadery Club. So that don't happen all the time. Obviously, they only do it once a year. A lot of people might not necessarily follow them. And even if you do follow them, you might miss that. So what I want to do is in the news segment, I want to be able to go highlight things like this that I come across during, I want to make this a weekly thing. So I want to, so I got sidetracked reading sidetracks thing. New website called meadcomps.com. BC and Doing the Most put it up as a one-stop shop for listening for all your mead comps. Yes. Awesome. Yes. The Finer Things Club. Thank you, Richard. Yes. The Finer Things Club. So what I want to do is have like a news segment where I can run through all these things, have them, one of the things that I should be able to do through my new program is be able to do kind of like a news thing where I have, you got my picture in picture thing here going. And hopefully with the new one, I'll be able to switch that format to the horizontal format, the landscape format. and then I'll be able to do like a picture-in-picture strip, like a newscast. I'll be able to do like a split screen or shared screen where I'll be able to pop up. All right, here this is. Show you a little clip of like what their, you know, their Instagram page or their website or whatever. So I can say Richard has it. I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds awesome. Oh, Richard has the Finer Things Club. Okay, now I'm so it takes me a second. I get there. See, I told you I had a long day. My wife's laughing at me. Y'all can laugh at me too. I appreciate it. But yeah, the Finer Things Club. Yes. So like I said, so I put a little segment together where I can be talking about this thing, throw up the little thing, let people know, hey, if you didn't know, you don't follow these cats, you know, give a little background on what's going on. So, hey, check it out. Finer Things Clubs. Have you been, you know, wanting to get on this? Maybe they don't send out an email. Maybe you know, you missed the chance to get on their emailing list and you want to, you didn't know they had one. Try to get those types of information out to people. Also, you know, do noteworthy drops at meaderies. Hey, did you not know, if you missed it, this meadery did a drop on Osner or on Tavor, or, you know, these guys are doing, you know, sales direct on their website, and it says that they're taking proxies. So if you reach out, you know, maybe you can get a proxy and just kind of link people up with, you know, the kind of more boring, nuanced things in the meat industry that I find really interesting, that you know, most people don't you know, hoard that type of information, but would love to have, you know, something like that presented to them in that way. You know, maybe I'm just out of my element here, and whatnot. So what's going on, Tony? Always appreciate you stopping by, brother. So yeah, so to have a news segment where I would feature these types of things that I collect out throughout the week, and it's definitely something I would do on a weekly basis, because it's something, again, like this Finer Things Club, I imagine that could potentially, depending on how they're doing it, fill up within a shorter period of time. Or if, you know, hey, this, you know, so-and-so just released, you know, Zymarium just said that they got, you know, they found a dead stock crate that they put up. They only got 12 bottles. You know, that's something that I would probably put on my story. But if you just say, hey, we got 2 cases, yeah, it might last a week, it might not, but just stuff like that. Try to get the word out there about those things. Another segment that I would want to do would be like a live review. So instead of having my, doing my reviews, I think I'm pretty much almost exclusively done with mine. A few specific cases here and there with the review only videos, unless it becomes like a roaring clamor for me to bring those back. I think it's kind of fulfilled its purpose, and through this live interview thing, I can kind of revive the road to 500. So if anybody who has seen my reviews know that I was doing this thing where I was trying to get to 500 reviews before I really considered myself an expert mead reviewer and mead taster, mead judge, all these different things, between the combination of the BJCP certification, just drinking as much mead as I can, and doing 500 official BJCP style reviews. I figured at that point I could kind of consider myself a legitimate BJCP mead judge. So I can revive that aspect of those reviews through the live the live mead review process. So I'm definitely excited about that. One of the other things I want to do, going back to the competitions, is spotlight mead competitions. I want to talk to mead competition organizers, try to get one on every week, whether they're mead specific or not mead specific. Have them come on, either pre-record something with them or have them come on live, and whatever we can do, or even maybe just send in a little, you know, a little what do they call those? Like a little bumper note or something like that to read, to give background on the information, because I want to, you know, like it's awesome that BC from Doing the Most and Garrett from Man-Made Mead put together the Mead Comp website, and that's something I could hopefully could even talk to those guys and we could pimp that website and whatnot. But I would love to be able to get, just more knowledge about all the comps out there, and especially focusing on the mead specific comps, because I think there's a lot of people out there that don't enter comps because they don't feel that they're in a place to, or they don't, you know, maybe I'll send in my next one, or I haven't got enough feedback to it from my meads before I can send them into comps. And that's, you know, that's what these, especially homebrew specific comps, are for. Send those in there, let those people try and get feedback from people, if nothing else, who are mead heads like you, and at the best, you know, or have a very sophisticated palate that's been proven and tested over the years. You know what I mean? You've got a lot of knowledge to pull from in these competitions. So I say take advantage of that and use that information and those resources for what they are. Yeah, it'll cost you a little bit of money to send the bottles in. And please, everybody, do try to follow the competition guidelines when you're sending in those bottles. You know, don't just send in one 750 bottle if they say they specifically want 3 375 bottles. Now, if you've got bottle cap, you know, cap bottles, and that's what you got, then send those in. If you got cork bottles, then send them in. Don't worry, I wouldn't worry about that. But please, for size limits, don't get yourself booted out of a competition for not sending in the right size and a quantity of bottles. It says send 3 bottles, send in 3 bottles. The last thing you want to do is send in 2 bottles and get yourself booted out of a potential best of show because you didn't send in enough product and you made it through mini boss, and now, oh, we don't have no more your mead to share for things, so now you're automatically disqualified on a technicality. Man, how fucking crappy would you feel over some shit like that? I know, just thinking about it, I feel shitty talking about it. So don't let that be you, because man, that would suck. But yeah, so anyway, spotlight these competitions and whatnot, and get, just more people involved and drum up some interest in the competition spotlight series going on there. Then I also want to do a segment in conjunction with that mead competition, since I'm going to be encouraging people to enter mead competitions, and I'm specifically now a BJCP mead judge. Not to say that's the end all be all, but that's the format that I chose to go with. I'm going to be doing BJCP style reviews and overview review type of videos. I'm not quite sure what we're going to call that, but so one week we'll be talking with try to talk with a mead maker or talk with somebody in the industry, and we'll go over style. Okay, so this week we're going to be talking about dry traditionals. We'll try to talk to somebody in the industry who has a lot of experience, possibly won a lot of awards for dry traditionals, and see if we can't pick their brain a little bit about some tips and tricks in making dry traditionals, yeast preferences versus honey types, all these different types of things. And we'll be going through all the different styles. We'll be going through different, the sweetness levels, the carbonation levels. Try to do everything that we can. Speaking of, try to do everything we can to touch on all the different aspects of the BJCP scoring sheet. Basically, just go over the score sheet, different sections each week, go over something, spotlight it, highlight it, talk about it. Reed, thank you for popping in today, my man. I have not been able to get a hold of Rico. If you could do me a huge favor and shoot him a message, let him know we're ready to go. We've been going for a little bit. If not, if you're busy at work or something, you're just doing it on the side, hey man, I appreciate you at least just stopping by. Sorry, everybody had the little sidetrack. It might be my only chance to get at Rico through this video. So, so we do the BJCP style reviews, overviews, what makes a good dry traditional, what makes a good, sweet mellow melt, all those types of things. But they're also unique with that high carbon. Oh, okay. So yeah, Hide Run is dry traditional. So, oh, there we go. Boom. Here comes Rico. Yes. Hide Run is definitely unique with that, but I think they specifically call themselves, the champagne style. You're good, man. He just popped in. Appreciate you though, Reed. So Hide Run, I haven't had their stuff. I've heard mixed reviews of their stuff. So let's see if we can't get Rico a request over here real quick. That big of a hurry. So hopefully y'all got some little bit extra time. So send him a message over there. Boom. There we are.
What's up, dude?
What's going on, my man? Appreciate you stopping by today.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I apologize if there was a time mix up, but we're 8 here now. So.
Oh, did I get your guys' time frame?
Yeah.
Are you guys
discuss 8? It's like 7:45, but it's all good. I saw it, so hey, I'm here.
Oh, I thought I put 8 Eastern time on there. My mistake. I apologize.
No worries, brother. No
awesome.
Worries.
All right, well, I've definitely got some extra time today. I think everybody's been having a little bit of fun talking with me about my future endeavors. So we've definitely got some is it Skulkin Society?
It's called the Skulk Society. Yeah.
Skulk. Yes, we've definitely got some Skulk Society members on here. My buddy Reed's on here and a couple other cats. So always appreciate the the club members stopping by. So.
For sure.
Again, thank you for stopping by. If you want to go ahead and introduce yourself real quick, give us a little background on Fox's Den, and we'll hop right into it.
Yeah. Well, first, just want to say thanks for the opportunity, TK. I really appreciate it, man. This is awesome. My name is Rico Bianchi. I'm the owner and mead maker here at Fox's Den Meadery. We're located in Yorkville, Illinois, just about an hour west of Chicago. I started making mead in like 2015. I started brewing beer in 2014, and then I just fell in love with mead in 2015, and really have just been doing that since. So but yeah, we're getting ready to open our doors here to the public soon. It'd be May 27th is going to be the official opening day. So
Yeah.
super stoked, super stoked for that, man. It's been a long time coming, and it's awesome to see the dream finally start to take life here. So
Yeah, it's been a long time coming for you guys, at least on the, especially on the just this year, because you guys have been in license, or you guys were started licensing January of 22, got fully up and going in September. So I'm sure that was 9 months of red tape and nightmares and fees and TTB submissions and all sorts of crap.
yeah, man, it was a whole new learning experience for us. You know, we're first time business owners. You know, we know how to make mead. It's just, you know, running the business side of things was all new to us. So,
Right.
but I feel like overall the process has gone pretty smoothly. We didn't really run into
Good.
too many, you know, road bumps or anything like that. We started the application process in like January or February of last year, and
Nice.
we finally were able to get our official licensing by September 1st. So that's when we started to crank out, you know, some batches, and yeah,
Yes.
it's been quite the journey, man. It's been quite the journey, and it's very fulfilling to see it all start to pay off here. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, you guys are located, you said, just about an hour south of Chicago. So you guys are like in the heart of the Sugar Belt. So before you popped on, I was talking about the Sugar Belt that's coming up. And that's actually the weekend prior to your guys' grand opening. So you're going to have a busy 2 weeks there, my man. You guys are going to be running around with chickens with your head cut off.
Yeah, yeah, man. It's gonna be nuts. You know, that's kind of how we like it, though. You know, we like to move at a good pace and just like to keep, you know, busy all the time. So, yeah, with
Yes.
the Sugar Belt Mead Festival and then our grand opening, it's for sure to be a pretty hectic month. But I think we'll be just fine. So, but yeah,
Right
we're
on.
stoked for the Sugar Belt. I want to say thanks to Tony and Keith and the whole crew over there. You know, at Manic, there's some great dudes, and we just
Yes.
appreciate the opportunity to attend and share our meads with a bunch of mead enthusiasts for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to be there this year, and Tony's letting me run a live stream. So I'm going to be doing live stream the whole time. So I got a program, so I'm going to be able to live stream on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook, everything all going at the same time. And actually, we talked to Billy. I'm a member at the Coveters Club over there. So
Oh,
I'm
very
going to be pouring for the Lost Cause, do like a little guest pour for them and whatnot. So I'm stupid excited about that. Probably way more than I should be.
no, that's awesome, man. That's incredible. I can't wait to meet you in person. And you know, Billy and Lost Cause is they're
Oh yeah.
he's one of my mead role models. You know, he's a beacon of the industry. He's
Oh yeah.
you know, so much knowledge, and you know, everything that I've learned from him has helped me, you know, throughout this process too. So yeah, there's some great people over there too.
Yeah. I'm dying to. He's not going to be there, unfortunately, from what I understand. But yeah, I'm just dying to meet everybody. You and meet Jeremy Clausing. Sir, I met Tony and Keith before, but definitely just meet everybody else that's going to be there. I think it's going to be such a rad time.
Oh, for sure.
Um, so one of the things I wanted to do before we get too far into any of these things is go over what I'm drinking tonight, because every night when I do one of these interviews, I always try to drink something specifically from the Meadery if I can. Tonight I was lucky enough to be able to pick up one of these guys, and this thing, little magic seal right there. I was lucky enough to have a buddy who we have in common. Maybe you know his name's Reed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
so he was kind enough to be able to hook me up with one of these, and I'm telling you what, man, the flavor on this is now. Before I get too much into it, can you go over the name really quick? It's Cassius Vanille.
Yeah, this is vanilla. Yeah, so basically it's just a black currant mead with three different types of vanilla. We used
Oh,
I
okay,
think
so there is.
it was like Tahitian. Um, I'm trying to think of the other two. It was Tahitian, Madagascar, and then another one. So
Like
yeah,
Ugandan or something,
yeah. You know what?
Ecuadorian.
I think that was it. Actually, yeah. I just started experimenting with Ecuadorian beans too. So those were kind of out of my mind. But I'm like, I don't think I used that for that batch. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hope you enjoy it, man. Cheers.
The first thing that popped into my mind, like it, when it hit me in the nose, I let it warm up to about 60, a little bit over that before I popped it because I was really hoping to get a punch in the nose, and it was very mild on the aroma. You do get that like dark berry type of characteristic to it. And it actually, like I said, is very vinous. Has this like this tart red wine type of characteristic to it. Was that intentional, or am I
Yeah, yeah.
not
So for
picking up something you didn't mean there?
Oh yeah, that's a great pickup on your part. For most of my big melts, I try to use a specific yeast strain that really
Mhm.
gives off those those fruity, almost drying red wine, the esters.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel uh, the aroma might be a little mild, but yeah, I feel like it's more on the vineyard side of things for sure, which is completely intentional. So.
Gotcha. Well, mission accomplished there. It's very pleasant. It was just, um, you know, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking of something like a Ken Schramm's. Like that could easily be a Schramm's pour right there, and it just doesn't have that same type of punch. But
Sure.
the aroma that is there is very pleasant. But I'm telling you, the flavor though, the taste on it is where it really sings because it initially has this like wonderful, tart, strong black currant taste, and then the honey just washes over your tongue. What kind of honey did you use for this?
I believe that was just a Kentucky wildflower. Yeah, it was just regular wildflower on that one. Speaking of shrams, I brought one to drink as well. We got a Bramble Plus here.
Ooh, bramble. I haven't had that one.
It's got some of my favorite fruits in it. We got loganberry, blackberry, boysenberry, and then red and black raspberry. So,
Ooh,
uh,
yes.
gonna get into that here. So, well, here, cheers, man.
Cheers. One of the things from Strams, while we're on the subject, like I haven't had many of his um, conglomeration meads. I try to use one of your words there. His many of his amalgamations of multi-berry meads and stuff. I'm at my unfortunateness, I've only ever had to try his single fruit ones, and it's led me to this stance where I call him like the world's best one-trick pony. Like he can make the very best single style Latoka cherry mead. Like that thing will be the best, but it gets to be a bit one note for these things. So like something like that, like a Bramble Plus, I haven't had to have something like that. So I'm dying to, or even like a Heart of Darkness. I couldn't pull the trigger on a $200 fucking bottle. It was a bit much, but I will stumble across one someday, and maybe that'll change my opinion and everything. But yes, that Bramble Plus looks and sounds absolutely amazing.
Yeah, man, it's really good. I'm picking up a lot of tannins on the palate. Not overly tannic, but it definitely has that drying tannin presence to it. A little bit restrained on the acidity, but overall just a
Good.
well put together mead. Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge Shramps fan, so pretty much anything they put out, I'm a big fan of. So can't
Oh,
really
absolutely.
there.
Yeah, like I said, like the quality of the guy's stuff. Like the one thing that I will never put down is the name Shrams definitely stands for quality. That guy will not put out a meat that is subpar in any way, shape, or form. Everything that comes off their bottling line and goes for sale up is technically going to be some of the most well-made and put together stuff out there.
Oh yeah, 100%, man. I mean, his attention to detail and quality is unmatched. He's another one of my mead role models. Obviously, my very first piece of mead literature was the Complete Mead Maker, which is his book. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I do can and strive to make a product as good as his. So
Absolutely. All right, let's get back into your meads. So we got the Cassis Vanille. Is this going to be a line that you do, the Vanille series or the Cassis series? Because I see you guys have one that's coming up called Blue Vanille.
yeah. So we do want to do a vanilla line where it's just
Okay.
a single fruit with three different types or three vanilla bean varietals. So
Love it.
yeah, we do a blue way coming out.
Blue.
Actually, it's out now. But yeah, I was pretty happy with that one too. But yeah, that's something that we like to further explore. Just doing a single fruit with a big heavy dose of of vanilla there. So
Nice.
yeah.
What's, if you don't mind giving out your ratios, how many ounces of vanilla are you using per gallon if it's up into that ratio?
Well, let's see. So that was like a 30-gallon batch, and I used about 120 beans on that.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, that we let it
It's
age.
a significant chunk.
Yeah, yeah, we let it age for about 3 to 4 weeks. And I feel like the vanilla really shined through on that. But when it's
Nice.
balanced, the tartness or the sweetness of the mead, I think it's hard to pick up in certain meads that are big,
Sure.
heavy smells. But for the most part, yeah, I try to incorporate the beans for at least 3 to 4 weeks at about that same ratio per batch.
Split them, throw them in a bag, split them, chop them, scrape them, throw them in a bag.
Yeah, so I'll split them, kind of peel them open a little, then toss them in a bag, and then I'll just throw that in right into the tank.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I did too. I got a 3-gallon lemon vanilla that's going right now, and I was talking to Jeremy Klaus, and he's like, "Nah, man, just split those open, and you're good to go." And I'm like, "I like that. I like where it's going, but I think next time I might try to scrape it. I think it might speed up the process a little bit because I'm impatient as a motherfucker. I'll tell you what."
Yeah, I know.
I'm so impatient, and this is probably not the hobby for me if that's the case.
Exactly. Yeah, patience is key with mead, but
Absolutely.
like the beans can be really well incorporated if done right, whether they're split, scraped. I use a bag because our drain ports, when we go to transfer,
Gotcha.
if I weren't to bag them, they'd probably clog up the ports, the pump. So I got to try and create as least mess as possible. So
Right.
yeah.
And where do you guys? I was when I poured this earlier, I was swirling around. I had a good amount of fruit matter left in it there. I'm assuming you guys don't do like any filtration, or certainly not a heavy filtration if you do.
No, we do filter some of our meads, mostly our traditionals. But for like their big mellows, we don't filter them. No, I mean,
Awesome.
yeah. So
I love it.
there will be some sediment in some of the bottles. I try to get it as clean as I can before we do package them, but
Yeah.
now and then some slips through. So
No, I love it. Like, I talk to so many people, and like, I understand everybody's got, this idea of the product that they want to put on the shelves and their vision of what it's going to be, that the customers are drinking. But like, I have no qualms with seeing stuff when I swirl it around, and the legs are creeping down, and I got little bits of fruit particle. Like, that to me is like a testament to how much fruit actually went into there, and how much character and uniqueness it's going to have. Because I see some of these things that are like, let's say it's like this. I say it's a black currant mead, and you look at it, and it's just like kind of off, barely reddish, off yellow color. It's like somebody walked like a handful of black currants past it, when they were fermenting and everything. It's like, throw some currants in there, people. Like, give it some power, give it some strength, put some flavor in there. I'm not saying it has to be, this, but at least put some, get something in there.
yeah, for process without giving too much away, I do like to so we get our whole, our fruit whole, and then we'll freeze it. It comes from, but we'll put it in the freezer until we're getting ready to use it. We'll let it thaw out and kind of cold macerate for a little bit, and then what we'll do is we'll press the whole fruit and use that juice in the mead must.
Okay.
So prior to fermentation, we have the juice, and then we will bag that spent fruit, even though there's still a lot of life left in that fruit. So we'll bag that and then add that to the fermentation tank. So we'll ferment on the juice and the whole fruit and skins, and then post fermentation we will add some more juice and fruit too.
Gotcha. And then I'm assuming do you aim to ferment everything dry and then back sweeten it to your desired sweetness level, or do you guys just kind of pick your target ahead of time add enough sugar ahead, at the beginning and let you, target ferment that way.
Yeah, we typically ferment dry and then back sweeten. That's what's worked for us over the years.
Yeah.
When I was making meat at home, that's always how I did it. So I kind of just stuck with that. I know other meaderies, start with a really high, original gravity and just kind of, shoot for, a higher finishing gravity where,
right.
Yeah, I usually start around like 1160, 1150.
Yeah.
And ferment. It might not ferment all the way dry, but it'll get close too. So, but most of my meads do have a clean ferment that ferments dry. So
nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm always a fan of a clean fermentation, and man, some of these, like, I would imagine the ending gravity, not the where it finished at, but when you bottle gravity on something like this, if I throw a hydrometer in now, man, I'd have to say at least like 1075, 1085.
You're right on the money, man. You're right on the money. Our sweet spot for our big sweet melts are usually around 1080. So that's what I found works good for me.
Yeah.
We usually finish like 13%, ABVs. So
yeah,
it seems to work well for us.
And I think that's with the amount of, again, the amount of acidity and astringency coming from the black currants. You got that sweetness from the honey in there. It's all balanced very well. And then of course you got the natural tannins from the skins as well in there. I pick it up as a 1080, but you could easily enter this into the competition against whatever regular wine sweet stuff down in 1025, and still I think do very well in a competition. Do you guys enter any competitions commercially or as home brewers, or have you, I should say?
No, so we've entered the Meadery Cup one time in like 2016 when we were still home brewing, and we got really good feedback. Yeah, I mean, nothing against kind of competitions or anything. I think it's a great benchmark and a way to get good feedback for your meads. We just really haven't really entered too many competitions. Not like it's not a huge priority to us, because I feel like a lot of the meads that we make are geared towards a certain clientele. They basically. Yeah. A lot of our fans like the big sweet meads, the dessert styles, which can place obviously in competition. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I've just really relied on the feedback from like friends and family, obviously, which is not really saying much because they're always going to say it's good, right? But then a while ago we started giving out free samples to people. We were doing like free giveaways on our Facebook page, and we were getting bottles out to people across the whole United States. So our friend Reed, down in Arizona, he's been a big fan of mine, and I've in bottles in the past, and he would share with friends, and word just kind of spread. And it's like I base a lot of my feedback on our clientele, basically people that are either going to be interested in us or support us. So but yeah, no, I do plan to enter some mead competitions. Obviously I want to do the Meadery Cup. Sure. As a commercial mead maker. I really just want that notch on my belt, man. Like to say that I'm a winning mead maker is a big dream of mine. So I think this year we're for sure going to try to enter some competitions for sure. Yes.
Now, a lot of what I'm seeing on there is some big, on your website for what you guys have released, is big traditionals and stuff. I feel that I had, actually I want to read shares that he had some traditionals from you guys, some little 200 traditionals. There was or maybe they weren't traditionals. One of them was like a metal foam something. Oh yeah. That was actually the first ones that I had of your guys's, and he was like, oh yeah, these guys are awesome, and put me onto your guys' game. So I've definitely had a few of your guys' stuff, and I'm impressed with everything that I've had.
I really appreciate that, man. That means a lot to us. And yeah, so that batch was it was a metal foam traditional, and then split 4 different ways, and aged on 4 different spirit soaked oak. So we did like a rum, we did a tequila. We did
Yeah.
our back and Sam Adams Utopia. So yeah, that was a fun little experiment. You know, I don't know. Everyone has their personal favorite honey, right? And mine
Oh,
so
yeah.
happens to be that meadow foam, just like a lot of other mead makers. It's such a great honey. So it's expensive, but it's awesome.
Yeah, I would love to get some and try playing with it. I played with some expensive honeys, but meadow foam unfortunately is not one of them. So, being from Washington, you would think I would have had a bigger run-in with it in my past, but Kitty, you're in the way. But I unfortunately have not had it yet. So I'm seeking some out though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rika. And there's a read right there says your banana meads are amazing. Which banana meads have you guys done in the past? That sounds really good. I'm a sucker for a banana mead as well.
Yeah, I mean that kind of really our banana meads really kind of put us on the map, so to say, when we were home brewing. We did a few banana meads. We did a bananas Foster macaroon, which it's a bochet with banana, cinnamon, aged on rum-soaked oak.
Yes.
Which is actually the commercial version is currently sitting in a rum barrel now. So we got that one ready to go here soon. It's been sitting for about 2 months. Probably needs a few more months in that rum barrel. But so we got that one coming here soon. We've done a few other banana meads, but banana brulee. I feel like a bochet really accentuates the banana flavors. You know, it really brings out that flavor. So I feel like a lot of the banana meads that we do, we like to caramelize the honey, you know, prior to fermentation. So.
What about the bananas? Caramelize those too, cut them up?
Yeah, so for that, we basically we'll cut up the bananas and put them in a bag, and then add water, like the water we're gonna use for our must. We'll basically boil or like poach the bananas, and then we'll use that water for our mead. Prior to fermentation. So we feel like that really just the aroma on that is just crazy, and then we'll toss whole fresh bananas into the tank too.
Very cool.
Yeah.
See, we got Hip Shot Phil here says that he got one of your banana brulees in a trade and got him hooked, so he jumped at the chance to become a Skulk member, which I would imagine was at the very few that you guys had. I think not few, but I mean, I read on your, you guys recently had a one of the news stations or news agencies there in town and I was reading your article, say you got only 115 members.
Yeah.
That is such an exclusive club, and these cats are so lucky, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, man, we're very thankful for all of our members and their support, man. I honestly, we couldn't have done it without their help.
Well, I'm sure, yeah.
They've been instrumental to keeping us afloat until we can open, our tasting room doors. Yeah, I mean, just to see that support for, a new meadery, to have that support before we even got approval was crazy.
Right.
I mean, it might seem like a small number to compared to other meaderies, but for us, we're incredibly thankful to have them for sure.
Let me put you on some game, my man. I think you guys are in like the right wheelhouse and have the right idea for that. You let it open, let people sign up, and let it be what it is. Whether you take more memberships or not is up to you. What you feel you guys' production capabilities are. Let me tell you what. If I were you guys, from what I'm seeing and from what I'm hearing out there, smaller is better. There's some of these places that have 500-600 cats that are in their memberships and are having to split membership parties into multiple events, and it's just turning into a much bigger headache, and not being able to produce as much highest qualities that people became accustomed to and stuff like that. So I think you guys are like right where you need to be. You can still produce nice high quality, like that bananas Foster when you're talking about something like that. I'm sure it was not just to be blunt, not cheap on the pocketbooks to produce, and it's time consuming. You got to barrel age some of these things. So you got a lot of time and energy and resources into it. and to be able to, you know, pay these people back something like that is amazing. And to shortchange the people who've been in something like that for so long, not to say that you would, but, you know, to grow it to something that you would have to cut the quality,
Right.
I think that really does a disservice to your brand as a whole.
Oh, for sure. And we're very, very comfortable with 115. You know, so our typical batch size is around 30 gallons. So, you know, if you break it down into to 375 milliliter bottles, that's about 300 bottles. So,
Okay.
we can, you know, allot our members comfortably at 2 bottles per person, which is fine. And then, you know, we'll always have some left over for people that didn't purchase. So yeah, I feel like where we're at is a really good space for us. You know, but eventually as we grow, I would like to probably open up to maybe 150 or something. Sure. So, you know, we'll see. But yeah, I feel like I wouldn't want to risk the quality of the meads to try and, you know, appease to a larger crowd. So
I'm not trying to sacrifice quality for quantity.
100%.
And you shouldn't.
Yeah. And, you know, I you know, with our doors being open here soon, you know, like a lot of our initial production volume was geared towards, you know, our Skulk Society. So, you know, they have first dibs on everything, and then, you know, anything buy, you know, after a certain amount of time, we will, you know, make available to the public. I mean, the Skulk Society members have been buying a lot of our meads and basically keeping our lights on here. So
yeah. Patrick would like to know how many tanks you guys have, because you guys are coming out with new meads on a fairly regular basis. And I agree, you guys have some, since you have some, you know, drops fairly regularly, which is awesome. I'm loving it.
Yeah. So right now, we have the capability to ferment in like 10 tanks, but our primary tanks, we have 3 one barrel tanks. So
okay.
Yeah, so we can. I try to do about 2 meads per month. I'd like to keep that pace. You know, with our doors open here, we're gonna have some session meads on tap. So, you know, that does take up a little bit of tank space, obviously. But yeah, we would like to keep the pace of 2 still meads per month. So
I think that's a fantastic clip that you're going at there. You're not overwhelming people with an abundance of stuff at at any given time, and you're also not starving them for product, you know, with a release once only every, 3 or 4 months.
For sure. Yeah.
Which I know some of the cats out there that do that, and it's so like, I mean, I understand they got to do what they got to do, but it's like, come on, Tony, release mead more than once every 4 months.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for us. It's a good model for us. If we can, like I said, if we can maintain that consistency, that would be great. I'm sure, you know, like I said, once our doors open, you know, there's going to be a lot of session meads that are going to be made. I mean, we already have them in kegs now. We're just waiting to get our final approvals here. But yeah, so since we got approved in September, I released 12 meads, I believe, and this month we have 2 dropping at the end of this month, so it'll be 14. So
yeah, that's a fairly strong clip you're going at there. I think you're on the right track right there, my man.
I appreciate that.
So of these, you know, you've got 12 bottles that came out. Quick question: how many are going into barrels? Yeah, are you going to be doing a barrel aging stuff? Or are you guys starting on one of those? Are you going to let your collabs be the barrel age stuff?
Yeah, so we do have a bunch of plans, and we to barrel age stuff, but we do have some barrels filled now. We got about five barrels filled. I actually just dumped one last night. Didn't dump it, but basically I transferred it to get ready to package. It's an apple mead, just a straight up apple mead aged in a Whiskey Acres Blue Popcorn bourbon barrel.
Ooh, yeah.
Pretty stoked about that one. And then we got a few rum barrels that have some mead in it. We got a gin barrel. The next Skulk Society member included bottle, that's going to be a blackcurrant purple raspberry aged in a gin barrel. So,
yes. I had the raspberry one. Was that the Trizetto, not the continental one, the other one.
Yeah, it's the Rubus
Yeah,
Terzetto.
yeah, the Rubus. Dude, that thing was, talk about raspberry flavor and just packed with like just deliciousness. That was like liquid jam, dude. Congrats on that one. Very, very, very well done.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Yeah, so I got to give a lot of credit to our raspberry supplier. So we had to find a new supplier last year. You know, prices on raspberries have gone through the roof. It's been crazy. And so that kind of forced us to shift to look for a new supplier. And we found one about 3 hours north in Wisconsin. It's called Lakeview Berry Farm. And I mean, the quality is just world class. I mean, their berries are incredible. And they just have acres upon acres of berries. So they have some that they pick, and then they also have like a you pick field where you can go pick them, you know, yourself. So we get all of our raspberries from that farm. Yeah.
I know what I'll be doing when I'm in there. Have my kids you picking me some raspberries this summer.
Yeah, we definitely brought our kids with. Don't want to mess with any child you know, labor laws though. So
Skip that, man. Child labor laws, forget that. Well, okay, so check this out. A little kind of side sequitur here. You know Sean the honey man over there in Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
Wokolei honey. So he has his daughter, who I think is probably like 4 or 5 at this point, but she helps around the farm. You know, she was helping him pollinate vanilla and put labels on packages and everything. So I was like, constantly, every time I share one of his posts, like, yeah, he uses child labor and all this stuff, and he never got mad at me. I always tried to make it tongue in cheek, but I think it's hilarious to let your kids help. I love it. I think they should be involved in every bit of the process, especially when you own a farm like that.
Yeah, for sure. It was a good day for them. They got to go and pick berries, and I think my dog ate more than she picked. So her bucket was a little short when it came to weigh in. But
you have to weigh her on the way in and then weigh her on the way out and see how many berries she ate.
Yeah, no, but yeah, I like I said, I do have to give a lot of the credit to Lakeview Berry Farm in Wisconsin, man. It's just I've been so with their quality and just it's just a really good fun time there. Yeah.
Awesome. Patrick would also like to know how you choose your collabs. It looks like you're doing a bunch of them lately, and yeah, I've seen you around either you around the block or some people around over at your shop. I think you did something with Funktastic lately. Was it Funktastic that I saw you with? No?
Oh, haven't done, but I would like to. So, Matt, if you're out there, no. So we've done some with let's see. Our first one was with Hex in Wisconsin. Yeah. So
I'm dying to try some of his stuff. Oh my God, I'm dying to try Hex's meat so bad.
they're killing it, man. They just opened their tasting room and they're doing some really cool stuff there. Done with Hex. With Peter from Second City here in Chicago.
Bet.
Ready to drop that here in the next week or two.
That's going to be solid. That's going to be a solid winner right there.
Yeah, so speaking of Sean, the honey man, we actually used his coffee blossom for that one. We did it's a berry and boysenberry with coffee blossom and meadow foam.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's nuts. And then we did age it on oak too. So it wasn't barrel aged, but we did add oak to it. So.
And whose bottles were those? Yours or his?
Both. So the unique thing is that we basically came up with the idea to do the same ingredients, but the only outliers being, you know, a different yeast strain or our preferred strain.
Sure.
You know, the preparation methods were a little bit different, but they were the same exact ingredients as far as the honey, you know, the fruit, and then you know, the final gravity. We were pretty close there.
Sure.
He used his favorite yeast, and I used my favorite yeast. So I still haven't tried his version yet. I'm actually going up there on Friday to meet up with him. So stoked about that, to try them side by side and see how they can compare to each other.
Yeah, I got to I was very, very, very fortunate enough to steal some of Peter's time, like right after he was announced Mead Maker of the Year and everything. And technical difficulties, I ended up losing the interview, wasn't able to get it posted up, and it breaks my heart because it was such an amazing interview. But yeah, oh yeah, total bummer, man. But I'm definitely excited to see those guys up there too, and you know, get to link up with all you cats. So he said, oh, so Reed posted, said you guys did one with Second City, with Burnt Barrel, and then Clousine and Hex. So Burnt Barrel, I've heard lots of good things about those cats. Like they're out of Missouri. I'm dying to try some of their stuff too.
Yeah, man. And Nathan and his crew are doing some excellent work, and we always have a great time with him. He's just a really great dude, really down to earth, very very humble dude. But yeah, we kind of did you know, a dual cook collab where he came to my place and did one, then I went to his place and did one. But they're completely different meads. So we did a mead here called Pink Drink.
Yes.
It's a pink guava, orange blossom, lemon blossom, and Tahitian vanilla beans.
Yeah.
So yeah, that turned out really well when we used a Kveik yeast. So it really brought out, you know, those tropical, you know, aromas and notes. And then we went to his place and we did an orange dreamsicle mead. So yeah, nope, on that one. That one's not done yet. I think he's gonna release it here in the next month or two or whatever. I'm not sure, but
yeah.
Nate's a great guy. And then Jeremy Clausing, not much needs to be said about him. I think everybody knows how esteemed of a mead maker he is, and his quality is top notch. And yeah, I mean, how I pick my collabs, I don't necessarily pick it. You know, it's just more or less people who support me and have supported me throughout this whole journey, man. You know, like I just wanted to kind of not pay him back, but just show him my appreciation. Be like, dude, let's get together on something here, because you know, I really want to say that Peter from Second City, man, he helped me out a lot through the application process, and you know, all the tips, and just, you know, so much advice that he gave me, you know, pretty much unsolicited. He was just very helpful, very forthcoming with all his information. You know, like he held nothing back, and so he was a very big part and to making sure things went smooth here. But yeah, I mean, I pretty much, you know, I've just been collabing with people that have showed us support through the years, and have reached out, and vice versa. And yeah, I mean, I do plan to do more. I mean, I love the whole idea of collaboration, man. It's so cool seeing the way that other mead makers make their mead, and you know, their process and what they've learned over the years. You know, as far as us on this scale, you know, it's our first year, so we'll take all the advice that we can get. You know, so yeah, I definitely have a few more collaborations planned. There's a craft beer shop here in town called Flight, and they've been very supportive of us even during, you know, our home mead making days. So our next collab is going to be with Flight. So yeah, I mean, it's a big part of what we like to do here. We feel like mead should be inclusive and not exclusive, right? So like, it's going to grow the industry. You know, the more good mead that we have out there, made by good mead makers, it's better for everybody, you know, involved, honestly.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's one of the things that I love about the mead industry is the inclusivity that, you know, it just naturally abound in the industry. You know, there's definitely collabs in that, you know, similar type of vibe in the beer brewing industry, but it seems very more regional or cliquish. You know, you get these groups that do their things. You know, you got the pastry stout guys, and you got the IPA guys and stuff. But it seems like with mead, it's, you know, even with the sugar belt guys versus the dry guys and this stuff, it's like everybody still has you know, a solid respect for what everybody does, even if it's not their you know, particular style.
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. And that's another part that I love about the whole collaboration process, is just starting from absolutely nothing. Just say, hey, what do you want to do? Is there anything outside of your comfort zone that you haven't done yet? Or, you
Yeah.
know, it's a really fun process. And like I said, it's just really cool to, kind of, pick the brain of other mead makers and see what they do. And, you show them how you do things, and, you can each learn something from it, so yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was in Virginia earlier or last month and got to actually spend some time with Matt at Funktastic. And that's all I did for like 3 days was just pick his brain and try to learn as much as I could. Give me every tip on your process procedures. I mean, I'm in there like it's a an FDA facility. I'm writing down notes and taking policy numbers, and it's like, give me everything I want. I want in your books. I want in this. So give me everything. And him and Ray were so great. They just shared as much knowledge, and I love that everybody in the industry, just like Peter said, I'm going to force the advice upon you because it's what you need to hear to be successful.
Yeah. No, he's awesome, man. He's been great, and yeah, man, I met him last year at Sugar Belt, and he seemed like a great dude. So yeah, if we can get out to Virginia sometime, I'd love to do a collab with him too. So
yeah, definitely. Funktastic collabs are rad. But back to your line, you're talking about this collab which you have with the beer store. You're talking about this pink drink that you did. You seem to have a propensity for these like unique flavors, as to more so than most mead makers. When they come out the gate, you can expect you're gonna have a blueberry, or you're gonna have like a mixed berry, you're gonna have a sizer or something like that. But you're coming out straight out the gate. I mean, you do have those things as well, but you have these just big, strong, bold, blackberry or a blackcurrant vanilla one, and you've got was like an apple strudel one that's coming up, and you've got like a caramel apple one, and that conglomeration of like 17,000 different berries or whatever. I mean, what makes you pick these like unique, crazy flavor profiles straight out the gate, as opposed to sticking what's tried and true, for lack of a better term?
yeah, sure. I'm pretty confident in my process and my abilities.
There on Peter.
There's always room to learn. There's always room to grow. But I was making meat at home for about 6 or 7 years before we actually went commercial. So I got to test out a lot of batches, do a lot of experiments, at home on a small scale. I always had hopes to open a Meadery. I never thought that it really would happen. It's nuts. But, when I was home brewing, I did about I think I got like 68 different recipes that I did over the course of 6 years. And so yeah, I feel like I know what works for me and for my process. But as far as like flavor profile, man, I kind of just think of things that I would like to drink and that I would really like to work with. And it's been fun. I haven't had to dump any meads as a commercial mead maker, so I'm 14 for 14 so far. We'll see. But,
knock on wood.
So
there we go, right there. I got you.
But yeah, I mean, I kind of just think, and also it varies on like what fruits are in season too. I like to use a lot of fresh fruit. Obviously we do get our fruit frozen during like the off season and stuff. But yeah, I mean, if there's like cool stuff that's in season, I'm just like, all right, if we have tank space, let's go ahead and make it. So I kind of just, I wouldn't say wing it, but I just have ideas, and I'm like, that sounds good. I think I'm gonna do that. Like, I don't start with like a test batch, like a 1.35 gallon batch or something.
Yeah.
I pretty much just go for it and hope for the best, man. So,
how does so I read that your wife is the one who handles the books side of it. That's got to give her some restless nights at times. Like, what are you doing buying this many pink guava fruits from halfway around the world? You're gonna you're really sure you want to start off with a full barrel batch or something like that?
Yeah, she's definitely mentioned that a few times.
I would imagine.
I tell her I know what works. You just gotta trust the process. So, but yeah, she's
cool.
helping out on the administrative side of things. She's been great. She's also our interior decorator here at the Meadery. So
Nice.
it's been great. But yeah, there's been a lot of sleepless, restless nights. Before we got our final approval. Basically just wondering, not knowing if we're gonna get approved, right? So like we had to pay for our at our space for months in advance prior to knowing if we get approved or not. So like there's a lot of like stress and anxiety, obviously, that comes with opening a new business, obviously. But yeah, she's handled it well. She's been great, and yeah, we're just really looking forward to get the ball rolling here for sure.
Good. Yeah, I would imagine that's got to be. I mean, you're like, again, weeks away, like what, 5 weeks away, and everything's, I'm sure everything's ready, almost ready to go. You got kegs ready, you got lines almost tapped and full, and you got all the glasses, you got the flight boards ready, just waiting for some paint to dry, and it's full steam ahead.
Yeah. So we're just putting kind of like the finishing touches. We're getting the rest of the paint done this week. Then our final inspections are going to be next week. And then it's just like a matter of, fine tuning at everything, So like we have everything, in place. We just got to get it up to our specifications, But yeah, so getting back to my wife, we both work our full-time gigs. She's a nurse. So yeah, she puts in a long work day and then comes home and we do the meat stuff, and we
deals with you and the Meadery related stuff.
Yeah. I mean, dude, there's times where I don't get down here to the Meadery until like 9 o'clock at night. Like my meat night doesn't start until 9 some certain days. It's just with kids and stuff. We both work full time. It's been a lot to juggle. But I think we're doing a pretty good job. Like now that we can see, the finish line, quickly approaching, we're like, all right, yeah, a little bit of a weight has been lifted off of us, but we won't fully relieved until we see those doors open for the first time.
Watching people pour in and selling out and kicking kegs and all the cool stuff that those guys get to do. So you're having the big grand opening party on Memorial Day weekend. Are you guys doing like a soft opening for like members only, or Patrick mentioned you guys doing like a member party or anything like that?
Yeah, so we will be doing the soft opening that Friday. So it'd be Friday, May 26th. That'll be for our Skulk Society members, our family, our friends. Ideally, I wanted to do the soft opening a week before our grand opening.
Sure.
But then, the Sugar Belt Fest, so I can't miss that. So
yeah,
I think we'll shoot for that Friday for the soft opening, and then we'll have our grand opening on the next Saturday. So
solid call.
Yeah. I think as long as things go according to our plan and we stick with our plan, we should be good.
Nice.
I think it'll be a pretty good turnout. Locally, we have to do a little bit of of raising awareness of what meat is. We have to inform the general public, because there's a lot of people that don't even know what meat is. So it's taken a little bit of marketing and just basically trying to teach people what meat is. So
mead advocacy never stops. It's the eternal job of the mead brewers is constantly advocating for your product. You can hope to build up a solid enough foundation at your local level to where you can bring in a repeat crowd, turn yourself into a Cheers, so to speak, where you have your regulars, but you're going to constantly be advocating for the product, especially if you do like farmers markets and any sort of outside sales types of things that are not meat specific. It's going to be all advocacy.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we're more than ready for that. I feel like we're in a really good location here, and it's just going to.
That was going to be my next question. Do you guys feel like you're in a good spot? Are you like on a walking like a foot travel type area? Because I know a lot of meaderies end up being in like kind of back industrial areas and kind of off the beaten path, so to speak.
Do you mind if I give you a quick little tour? Or?
I would love a tour.
All
I think that
right,
would be
cool, man.
amazing. I want to see everything. Show me all the things.
All right, so it's kind of a mess right now. This
Yes,
is
the door.
my office. This is our tasting room here. Like I said, it's all tarped off.
Yeah.
This is our bar. Like I said, we're getting ready to paint tomorrow. So, but this is our bar here. Our taps are back here.
Back there.
So we'll be serving behind here out to the tasting room.
Nice.
Yeah, we still got like a lot more work that we're gonna try and cram in here. But as far as our location, we're on a pretty busy street. It's a main highway that runs through town here.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
so there's our downtown area there.
Nice.
Yeah, and like across here, there's across the road, there's always during the warmer months they have a lot of like festivals and stuff. So I feel like the foot traffic is going to be huge. This is our artist. Her name's Haley. Hey Haley, she's working on her B mural. Looks freaking amazing, right?
Yes, it does.
Like, look at that.
Holy cow! And that's all
painted. Yeah.
freehand.
Yeah. Well, she came up with the design, then used a projector, to
Sure.
trace it, and then it's looking incredible, dude. Like,
very
amazing.
awesome. Hey, that looks amazing.
And then one final spot that we really love is, it might be hard to see, we don't have lights out here, but we have like an outdoor space here, a little patio, and we're right on the Fox River. So like the river is literally right here.
Yeah, I can see the water shimmering, not to get too much of a picture, but I can tell that's a river. That's awesome. So you guys have a little riverside patio. You got a little downtown on the other side. You guys seem like you picked a pretty primo location as far as like being able to get like, non-destination specific traffic. Because like I'm saying, you get these meaderies that are back in industrial areas, not always going to just get random people. People are seeking you out to go to your place. You're going to get people walking by. Ooh, that looks unique. I want to go sit on that patio. What they do.
Exactly, man. Yeah, we kind of fell in love with the space. I mean, that's what kind of prompted us to make this next step. To take it to a commercial level. Like we didn't really. I mean, obviously, we always had thoughts and dreams of it, and always wanted to, but we just didn't feel the time was right. And kids are young and and involved in a lot of activities and whatnot. So we're like, let's just wait till the right opportunity presents itself. And sure enough, man, this place became available. We took a quick tour and we're like, yep, this is it. And another cool thing is that we live like two blocks south, so I could just walk here. It's great. It's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's great.
That's going to be nice when when you've gotten rid of, when you've been able to cut the tie, so to speak, and you can just go to your meadery gig, be able to just hoof it down there. Man, that's going to be nice.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, long term, I think, I would love to be in a position to quit my day job and do this full time. I mean, this is my my passion, my love. Obviously, I love doing this more than my day job, but
sure.
Yeah, we exhausted a lot of our resources here, and kind of.
I could imagine. I could imagine.
I need something to fall back on for at least the first year.
Sure.
We'll see how the first year goes, but the goal is to be doing this full time. So. Right.
Yeah. The goal is to be able to be at the Fox's Den and have that be the everything. Like I said, create your own cheers, so to speak. Get to slang drinks, meet interesting people, share the product that you like making with other people that like drinking it. I mean, that sounds pretty dream-like to me.
For sure, man. Yeah, it's just like things just kind of fell into place, and we contacted a family friend who helped us out financially just to kind of get the ball rolling. Kathy, if you're out there, hello and cheers. Thank you so much for all your help. Really appreciate it. But people that more than a few people, but we have people that believe in what we do and believe in our passion for the craft. We put our heart and soul into every bottle that we package. Every bottle is corked by hand, you know, individually. We don't have like a 4-spout filler or nothing. It's just a single bottle filler. We put the corks in individually. We still put the labels on by hand. We don't have a label machine. You know, like every bottle is hand wax dipped. So yeah, we take pride in our product, and I think that people see that and they want to support us, you know. So it's been great, man. And the help that we've received from our family and friends, and you know, whether it's just, oh dude, nice. Oh man, I'm pretty upset because I only have 2 bottles left for myself, because those sold out fairly quickly, and the review be good on them. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that one, man.
We're opening it right now. I know.
Nice.
So that was one of the things I wanted to get into. So you're speaking about your labels and hand labels and dipped and everything. So in the same sentence, I was bagging on your stuff and giving it one of the biggest compliments ever, because I said the same thing. I was like, look at this. We got such a little gap here on this side, and then this gigantic gap on this side.
Yeah, you know,
but
I do have family and friends that help too.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, so not every label is going to be perfect, but you know, we get by with what we have for now. You know.
Well, I was helping Matt bottle at Funktastic and label bottles and stuff like that. So if you get a crooked label or one that's got a big crease down the middle of it, don't blame those guys. That was the rookie guy. That was the FNG that day.
For sure.
But in that same breath, when I was mentioning that, giving a little jab, what I also said was, your guys' wax dips are hands down the nicest in the industry that I've seen on a consistent basis. Every one of them almost ends perfectly at the same rate, at the same thickness level around all the way up. And the pineberry one, again, I don't know if people can see it. You can see in the pineberry on the logo that you got the pink seeds and everything like that, and you even threw like little pink specks in the thing, so it looks like pineberry. I mean, come on, man, nobody does that. Get the hell out of here. That's some attention to detail and character that I love, and just fell in love. You know, continue to fall in love with your products.
I really appreciate that, man. Like I said, I take a lot of pride in the product that we put out, whether it's the quality of the meat itself, or you know, the packaging, or I try to put out a good product at, you know, a relatively decent price. And yeah, it's just I have ideas of things that I would like to do, and like once the meat comes to mind, I'm like, okay, so this is how the label's going to go. This is what color wax we're going to use. Like, it's all predetermined before the meat's done, you know. But I do want to say shout out to my brother-in-law, Tony LaMantia. His Instagram handle is Why Not, and he does all of our label artwork. So he absolutely, he's incredibly talented. He's exceeded our expectations as far as, you know, our label art. We've gotten so many compliments, you know, just on
100%
art. And it's been great. So
I wish I had that Rubus bottle here. That was so like vibrant and the colors on it are just so saturated and just unique. They're very cool labels. Again, with this pineberry, you got the logo, but you replace with the fox inners with the skin of the pineberry. I love it. Straight away though, this is like Smucker's Pineberry Jam, bro. This is like, you get the sweetness, you get the true berry character that comes through there. It doesn't smell like one of them candies out of grandma's purse or nothing. This is like a nice, like true berry character to it.
Thanks, man. Yeah, my wife and I got a pretty good deal on some pine berries last year, and we pressed them ourselves and, you know, juiced them, and then fermented on the skins. And that actually has Sean's honey as well. That's I believe it's a monkey pod blossom.
Ooh, that's the honey I used in my lemon vanilla was that monkey pod blossom honey.
That's awesome.
So now I'm interested to see how this comes out. Yeah, little red hue from the leftover black currant in there, but I'm loving that. Again, nice and jammy on the aromatics. This one seems a bit hotter than the other one, a little more warm on the alcohol notes, but that could be because it's been sitting at room temperature for like an hour and a half. So
That's
I'll be a little bit forgiving.
yeah, I think that one's at like, it came in at 15.5%.
Oh, so it's definitely going to have a little bit of bite to it.
Yeah, it's a little bit on the boozier side.
Okay.
And then all of our meads we get sent to a lab to get the alcohol by volume tested. So all of our ABVs are spot on. So
I like that. It's subtle. It has this again, a pineberry is, you know, very strawberry-esque in its type of flavor, a little bit different here and there, but the berry, like with the other one, it's mild and subtle compared to other things that I've had, but the flavor is spot on. Like I'm really digging that the aromatics, the flavor combination. Like I said, I'm getting a little bit of mix of that black currant in there, so I'm gonna swig that and see if we can reload it here. But what made you pick pine berries?
Well, because I haven't really seen any other meaderies use them, honestly. They don't really get incorporated too much, and we love pine berries, you know, the whole fruit. We love to eat pine berries, and, you know, even like a few years ago, we're like, man, this would be a fun mead. And the first time that we've ever used pine berries. It was a pretty small batch for, you know, for us commercially. I think it was only like a 12-gallon batch, so very, very small. Okay. I cost like a pretty good deal, because most of the time, another reason why we haven't used pine berries is because they're pretty damn expensive, you know. They're a lot more expensive than strawberries.
Significant.
So, yeah, so we got a pretty good deal on them, and we're like, hey, let's just give this a shot. And I figured some sort of Hawaiian honey would pair perfectly, so I hit up Sean, like, yeah, dude, I got this monkey pod, I think it'd be great for it. I'm like, deal, done. So yeah, it's just
I'd heard in the couple mead circles that they're like, oh yeah, the pine berry from Fox's Den is weak on flavor, low on flavor. I'm like, oh, that's a real bummer, because I was, you know, pine berry is not even, like I said, not that intense of a fruit to begin with. But from drinking this, I'm thinking those people were just being kind of persnickety, or maybe just trying to, you know, get some internet points or something. Because this is not, yeah, they're drinking that Haterade this morning or something, because this is like full of flavor. Got that same jammy type characteristics that I got from you know, other type of product there, the Cassius Vanille. Dude, I think you're doing it big. I'm impressed with everything Fox's Den that I've had. So you know, screw the haters. You do you. Dust that shit off.
Appreciate it, man. That really means a lot to me, man. I
very cool.
You any feedback, whether it's good or bad. I think all feedback is beneficial to a mead maker. So, you know, the more feedback I get, the better. So,
I just try to make it constructive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And then, yeah, I mean, I just love to like try new things, you know. Obviously I know what works for me. I love, you know, black currants, black raspberries, but it's fun to kind of step outside of the box every now and then.
Definitely. And that, again, that's what I love. See your flavor profiles. I like what I'm seeing, your uniqueness. You guys have this very defined vision for your brand. You know, you can tell when you see a Fox's Den label that it's a Fox's Den product. I think what you guys are doing, like I said, you're, as far as I'm concerned, and I'm a nobody, you guys are on the right path. So you're doing something right.
Cheers, man. I really appreciate that, dude. And yeah, I mean, the more people we can get our meads to and get feedback from, the more we can continue to try and improve and just get better. I mean, as a mead maker, like, there's always room to learn. There's always room to grow. Like, you're never going to be, you know, at the top of your game and know everything. There's always something that you can learn. You know, and one of my goals is to become a sommelier. So that's one of my long-term goals within the next five years, just so I can really, you know, understand wines more and just really, you know, really hone my craft. Like,
absolutely.
I just feel like there's always room to grow, you know, and learn. So
absolutely. Well, we are running kind of towards the end of the time here. I got you on a bit early, so if you guys have time to stick around for about 5-10 more minutes, I do have some rapid fire questions I'd love to shoot at you.
Of course, man. Shoot.
All right, so this is the little section I call Inside the Mead Maker Studio. Do a little rapid fire questions and some finish the sentence style questions. So, what's the first thing you think about or do in the morning when you get up?
First thing I do is brush my teeth.
Brush your teeth first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
Hot or cold?
Uh, Medium. Oh, I guess if I had to choose, hot.
There we go. Toilet paper, hang over the front or drape over the back?
I'm pretty sure I use the back, which is I think is the right way, but that's the way I've always done it. So
I just like jabbing people because it's so insignificant, but some people get so fired up over it, and it's like, no, the patent says it has to be this way, and it's like, it's just toilet paper. But I'd love hearing people's answers.
never ending.
What was the first car that you ever had?
That would be a Chevy S10 pickup truck.
Oh, nice. There you go. Oh, you pickup truck guy?
Well, it was kind of it was a hand-me-down. And then it was stick shift. So the first car I learned how to drive was on a stick, which I feel like helped me because I did, own some more, some manual cars in the future. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I learned how to drive a stick shift S10 truck.
And it'll help you when you have all those tractors on Bianchi farms in the future too, right?
Yeah, man, for sure.
Favorite breakfast cereal, either when you were a kid or now?
I'd say Captain Crunch peanut butter when I was a kid. Now, it's a really good question. I don't eat as much cereal as I used to. I'd probably say, oh geez, that is a tough one. I'd probably say Honey Nut Cheerios.
Hey man, Honey Nut Cheerios is a solid. I even loved Honey Nut Cheerios when I was a kid, man. There's something about that, just like there's like nostalgia in the bowl for me, man. I love Honey Nut Cheerios. Do you enjoy cooking?
I do.
What's your favorite thing to cook?
I'd probably say meats. Preparing meats, whether it's on the grill, on the stovetop, in the oven, in the smoker. I don't smoke as much meats as I used to.
Sure.
But yeah, preparing some really quality steak is probably my favorite.
Can't go wrong there as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
All right, burgers, pizzas, or tacos?
I'll have to go with burgers.
Burgers. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I'd say to fly.
Oh, fly. I think it says sly. I was like, I never heard of sly. Flying, yes. Yeah, flying would be rad, man. Be able to get anywhere you need, not have to deal with any traffic. So, I'm out of here, man. Away we go.
Sure.
Yeah, you could be at home meatery. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
nice one.
that's another thing. Getting back to informing the general public. Like, I just say that I'm opening a winery now. I just don't even say I'm opening a meadery because everyone's like, "Oh, are you a butcher? What kind of meat you gonna have?" I know it's like the age old, phrase or whatever, but yeah, I get that so much. They're like, "Oh, are you a butcher?" No, mead with a D. So
Yeah, I got a shirt that says I made a shirt that says no meat with a D on it.
Nice, awesome.
What was the worst job you ever had when you were a kid, like growing up?
Oh, worst job.
Or your formative youth years of working?
Well, I mean, I didn't really have too many bad jobs, honestly. Like I enjoyed everything I did. I did have to work. Ace Hardware. The manager was really, me and him didn't really get along. And I mean, I was young. I was like 16. So
yeah,
that partly on me too. But it was just not
fair enough.
But I did have to do some community service at the American Legion, and at the time, the commander there, he was in charge, like what I had to do, and basically I had to get down on hands and knees and scrub the floor with a toothbrush.
Like
so,
straight up, like stereotypical out of a cliche movie type thing.
Exactly, dude. Like, not that wasn't considered a job, obviously. But yeah, that was a little rough. But I've had some pretty decent jobs that I really can't can't complain too much about. So
There you go. All right, pool or darts?
pool.
Yeah, I'm a darts guy myself. I got my tables ran on me when I was a kid. My best friend had a pool table. He lived in the basement of his house, and in the basement, his parents had a pool table. And he was constantly on that thing. So from about like third grade on, I was pretty much just getting my ass handed to me all the time, and it just put this like sardine type taste about, yeah, but pool, I want to play billiards. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not so great at darts. So yeah, and any sort of bar games or whatever, I always stick with pool. Which, yeah, I feel like I have a good range. You know,
Yeah.
if I'm having a few beers that night, you know, between like the 2 and 6 beer range, I'm like on the money. You know, anything after that is not so well.
Yeah.
So.
And once I'm out of my sweet spot, it's gone to crap.
Yeah.
See, if you could star in any movie remake, what would it be?
Ooh, man, good question. One of my favorites growing up was Home Alone. So if I was a kid, obviously I'd love to be in that one.
Solid, yeah, solid response.
Yeah, a remake as an adult. I really love the Boondock Saints. That's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I think that would
Absolutely.
I would need to find a brother role. So
Yeah,
but I'm a huge Boondock Saints fan.
very cool. Those are two solid answers, my man. Let's see here. If you could meet someone from history and share like a lunch or something with them, you know, who is somebody interesting that you would, you know, you'd like to pick? Not to say the favorite person or the most, you know, this or anything, but somebody who kind of stands out. I think that'd be interesting to have a lunch with them.
Oh man, there's some great questions. I'm not gonna lie. It's a really good question. I would probably say Abraham Lincoln. Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, for everything he did, and everything that he stands for or stood for, I would definitely like to just chat with him and
Pick his brain for a little bit.
yeah, for sure. So I would have to go with good old Honest Abe there.
Yeah, I got these guys that I know, some acquaintances. They play a game called like 5 minutes lunch weekend or something like that. It's like you ever, I'm sure you've heard the term F, Marry, Kill.
Yeah.
So there's this thing like that, but with celebrities. So it's, which celebrities would you like to have like a 5 minute, you know, bump pass them in like the hallway, something. What celebrity you'd like to have like a, you know, like an afternoon lunch with, and then what celebrity would like to, you know, have like a weekend, like buddies type of weekend relationship with. And yeah, man, I think having something like that, you know, getting to spend a lunchtime session with like Abraham Lincoln, at least, you know, a little bit, pick his brains. Like, man, that had to have been an unpopular choice at the time.
at that time, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you know, from being from Illinois, I've lived here my whole life, and
Yeah,
so I've got to know a lot about him. I just feel like it would be cool to learn more about him, you know, for sure.
yeah. All right, my name is Rico Bianchi, and if I wasn't a mead maker, I would be a
pest control technician, because that's what I do for my day job. I've been in the pest control industry for 13 years with the same place.
Oh,
You know,
congratulations.
if I wasn't that, and I always wanted to be like a basketball player growing up. I played sports in high school and stuff, so you know, I always wanted to like make it to the big leagues or something.
Hell yeah.
Growing up, I was really big into hip hop and stuff. So I wanted to be a music producer, and I would like make beats. And I had a little time in my life where, you know, I had like a little 4-track recorder and a little beatbox machine and a keyboard and stuff, and what's it called, Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember Fruity Loops.
Sure. Yeah, that was always like a big dream of mine. And I remember after high school, I'm like, Ma, I think I want to go be a music producer. I think I want to go to school for it. She's like, I don't think that's the best decision. So Yeah, I'm not
Start
sure.
calling you Rico Dilla.
Yeah. Irre.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Yeah. I would have went the rapper route. I would love to be a freaking MC and just spit bars all day long, but I've got like almost no rhythm and ability to, speak fluently and under pressure. So it would just be a disaster. But I feel you, man. I would love to have done something with hip hop as a career.
For sure.
Well, I appreciate your time tonight, my man. Anybody who does not already follow Fox's Den, go hit them up on the socials. They're on the Instagram. They do the Facebook. You guys do Twitter or TikTok or any of that?
No, we're just on Facebook and Instagram for the moment.
So go give them a follow. They do the drops. Post those when they got bottles that are available for sale. And as Rico did say earlier, those are very reasonably priced bottles, especially given Sugar Belt area bottles. Sometimes those prices can get up there and above $50 for some of the 375, depending on what's going on. I can personally attest, as I bought some bottles from him, you're getting bottles under the $35 range for some seriously high quality stuff, and they're ranging from like 25 to 35 bucks. And like I said, I don't even think it's 35. I think it's like 32. So go pick up some stuff from Fox's Den. It's great stuff, and I can swear you're not going to be disappointed. And if you are, I'll buy the rest of your bottles from you.
Well, hey, man, it's been an absolute honor to be on here. I really appreciate it. This is actually like our first live broadcast interview podcast. Yeah, I've been looking forward to it all week, man. It's been great, dude. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh, well, hey, man, the honor is all mine. I appreciate when anybody who is doing something this cool, somebody that I admire and look up to, wants to spend some time talking to me. So I will look forward to seeing you and meeting you at Sugar Belt. Maybe we'll get a little interview in there, doing one of my live sessions, and share some more stories. I would bring some of my mead. We'll chop it up and hang out a bit.
For sure, man. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, and anybody who hasn't gotten tickets yet, the Sugar Belt Mead Festival is May 20th in Crown Point, Indiana.
Yep.
Tickets are still available. I
think the VIP tickets are sold out, but general admission tickets are still available.
Correct. And in my opinion, it's the world's best mead festival. You're getting the world's best mead makers all in one place, sharing some of their best stuff. You guys will not want to miss it. So yeah, for sure,
you're gonna get some stuff here that you won't be able to see, think of anywhere outside of this type of event. So if you can't make it, follow TK and Drinks. Like I said, I'm gonna be doing a live stream the whole time. Be doing guest pours at a table or two. So thank you again very much, Rico, for your time tonight. You guys have a great rest of your evening, and I look forward to bumping into you in the future, my man.
All right, TK, it was great talking to you, man. You have a good rest of your night. Thank you. Cheers.
You too. Later,
dude.
So that ended up being a fantastic interview, a little bit longer than my normal interview, about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, depending on when I kicked off and when he finally we got my lines crossed. And that happens to me all the time, unfortunately. I forget people are in different time zones and be traveling and everything, but we got it squared away. Had a great interview. And as I said, if you don't already follow Fox's Den, go give them a shout out and a follow over there. Like I said, they got bottles at least once a month. They're dropping a couple bottles, and I can't sing the praises of this stuff enough. And I guarantee you'll be happy. And if not, reach out to me, and I will get those bottles from you. No joke. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here tonight. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks. Probably not next week, but week after that with the new TK and Drinks format. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, if you were watching earlier when I was going over all that, I would love to get some feedback about that as well. If not, I'm putting together a new TK and Drink show. Go back, watch the first 10, 15, 20 minutes of this. I start talking about all that, and I would love any feedback on what you'd like to see, what I shouldn't add. Feedback. I love it. Constructive criticism. Thank you all again for giving me your time tonight. I appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.